full, isn't it?
It is. And giving you the lineup, we've got Brian McCann and Jeremy Edwards up front, Patrick Gitter and Kevin McCann on the second row. Something tells me the McCann brothers were sandbagging in practice. Dean Webb and Pujanowski on the third row, Chris Lockwood and Blair Patterson on the fourth row, Charles Joplin and Kayla McCarthy rounding out the top 10. Then Eric Steele and Scotty Too Hottie are 11th and 12th. 13th is Adam Rickey. 14th is John Lucido. Anthony Karen is 15th, Justin Swafford 16th, Jason Ricker is 17th, and Andy Shaner 18th. Kevin Bernheimer is 19th, Larry Johnson 20th. Bryant DeYoung is 21st, 22nd is David Trumbley. Matthew Wheeler is 23rd, and Austin Edwards is 24th. And 25th is Otto Cruz. Anthony Hooker is 26th. 27th is Stephen Hutchison. Benjamin Richards is 28th. Timothy Perkins is 29th. And I have to say, of that group, I believe the last 5 cars did not qualify.
That could be the case. I was just thinking it's an even bigger mouthful when you got to put the numbers in there with the names. How do you do it?
Lots of practice and luck. It looks like the race is set up for 65 laps rather than 60 tonight. So you guys get 5 extra laps of whatever happens next.
Yeah, and as they get rolling, I want to give a shout out to Blair Patterson from Blair Patterson Racing. I know he's streaming this event from his in-car footage, and David Trumbley from Davey TEZ on Facebook as well. These guys run a lot of TDR events and stream a lot of stuff for us.
Yeah, Blair actually dropped into my stream earlier tonight for the HTSAI Friday Fun League, and I think he dropped in the middle of the race while we were doing Dirt Legends on the Charlotte Rally course. And the only thing I remember seeing from his chat was, oh my. Because those cars were not meant to rally.
No, did you have damage off?
Oh yeah. They wouldn't have survived a lap without it.
Send it, man. Send it. Dirt restocks at Wild West are my favorite thing that don't belong.
Oh yeah, well I've done that with Pujanowski ironically, and that was a ton of fun. All right, pace car is in. Are you ready, Tommy?
Born ready.
Here we go. Green flag in the air, and away they go. Now, how many laps before the first caution, you think?
Over-under of 3, and I'm going to go under.
Well, we're looking. There was a car on the apron going through 1 and 2. Looks like everybody gets back up and squared away. Blair Patterson, as you mentioned, streaming tonight. He is starting to get on the move, and it looks like, at least for the moment, the top 10 is actually very even. And no surprise, and McCann at the front.
Well, in our last grudge match race, we had a race within a race. We had Brian McCann on one team and Kevin McCann on the other, and we figured out that Brian McCann is the one McCann that can't.
I remember that discussion and found that hilarious. And it looks like, we had a car. Kevin McCann was in the wall, just grazed it with his right rear, and somehow not only made that car keep going, ducked underneath Patrick Gitter as he came down the back straightaway. And that was some skill right there.
I would like to formally apologize to Kevin McCann for the broadcasting jinx.
Well, he is running right up by the wall, and that thing kicked out briefly. You see it kick out just a hair there, but, I see what he is doing. He uses the kick out to point down, and he still manages to carry the momentum, so he's actually saving it. And this time, Kevin McCann goes to the lead and brings Gitter with him past his brother Brian.
Yeah, you really have to be all the way to the wall, especially on the straightaways. With these cars, they're going to come a little lower in the corners than we'd see in the top tier series. But you got to be all the way by that wall. And I love what he's doing with that kick out, getting the car pointed, getting that drive off. I mean, watching a McCann is how you learn how to be fast.
Definitely. John Lucido now up to 13th. So far, the biggest mover in the field that I could see. I stand corrected. The biggest mover didn't qualify. Otto Cruz is now up to 16th after starting in 25th. So that
he must have had trouble in qualifying because Otto Cruz, I believe he was .001 faster than McCann in practice.
He was, and I'm either thinking that he played it safe starting out back, knew he could get to the front, or like you said, he had some sort of problem, but Otto is on the move, and we spoke too soon as he gets a little bit of the wall off turn 2.
Yeah, running these cars at Atlanta, there's a lot of Darlington stripes out there.
Yeah, and I imagine we're going to see some more, and they probably should have given a few extra fast repairs. And just saw an update that Becky was going to kick Scotty Too Hottie off his rig and hop in the car for him. So if that car gets to the front and wins tonight, we'll just assume Becky's driving.
Yeah, I had a comment set up for that when I saw it, but I didn't want to say anything because I'm afraid of Becky.
As well, you probably should be. I'm not, but you probably should be. Actually, we both probably should be after almost getting Scott married. So, and
go ahead.
I was going to say Pudge is starting to make his way forward now. He is now up to 4th.
Look at him go. I see a lot of lime green up there up front. Not as much TDR green. I think Pudge is definitely in control at this moment in the race.
Yeah, it definitely looks like the Nowski Nation came to play tonight. Now, they lost quite a few points, and coming into tonight with just a 26-point lead, they had like a 50-point lead before the previous race. So they're looking to make up some ground here tonight.
And it looks like I see Brian McCann running second there. Has Kevin McCann come to pit, or is he just faded back? I don't see him anywhere in the top 10.
I am looking because I do not see him, and I think he has to have faded back. He is
17th.
Yep, Kevin in second, Brian in 17th, and Benjamin Richards has crashed. Let's see what happened to him. Oh, he just gets loose, and we talked about that being the issue tonight. Great job by him getting the car off track in a timely manner so that it doesn't bring out the caution.
Yeah, stayed out of the wall, too. I mean, that level of skill to keep that car from running into that wall, downshifting, getting on your brake, and having the awareness to get off the track and get out of the way. Good job by Benjamin Richards, which is something you rarely say when there's an on-track incident.
Oh, definitely. It seems like I've seen a lot of complaints about public races this week, but every league race that I have broadcast this week, every league race I've heard about, everybody's been pretty respectful right now as Patrick Gitter to the inside through 1 and 2 around Kevin McCann. He's going to take the lead. Oh, no, he's not. Look out in front. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I believe that was...
Oh, and they're picking up more cars. We have the big one at Atlanta.
We do. I believe that was... You have to give me a moment on this. It looks like several cars involved. I believe that was Larry Johnson off the track. Let's take a look.
Yeah, these matching paint schemes are a broadcaster's nightmare.
There was some discussion about that this week, was there not?
There was. With all the chaos, it's just the same colors flying around. You really got to dial it in to find those numbers.
Okay, so it looks like Larry lost it through... No, that was not Larry. There was several cars on that lap and in the previous lap that just went off the track, trying to see where this all started at.
That number 9 from Pudjanowski, and then the number 9 on TDR, both of those were in the grass.
Yeah, and then I cannot tell what car...
I'm sorry, that's the 6 from Pudjanowski.
Let's see if we can try this from a different angle and maybe figure out what car. Just, man, it was so hard to tell, but several cars involved. Kevin McCann being one of them, Benjamin Richards being one of them.
Yeah, I'm just watching the numbers now on the playback.
That was Benjamin Richards. I'm not sure if he was coming up off of pit road or what happened, but I saw him suddenly come flying up off of the pit road area, and then as everybody's trying to check up, the 32 of Eric Steele gets caught as well. We've got a ton of cars on pit road. The only two that have not gone to pit road at this point in time, Dean Webb, Anthony Hooker.
Well, I'm glad I didn't put any money on that over-under, because I did go a full 8 laps before the first yellow.
Yeah, and that was actually not what we expected at all, because we did mention in the pre-race that at the start-finish line, these cars get until the pressures come up. This track is very bumpy, very abrasive, very rough, and we saw a lot of cars that first 3 laps until pressures came up, they were bouncing through the front straightaway.
Well, and now a lot of these crew chiefs have a choice, right? So they're just in that window where the tires are finally warmed up and they're getting some performance out of the car. But you know they're going to want tires at some point during this race. Do they take the tires now and take the green under cold tires and build those pressures back up? Or do they go back onto the track with the warm tires and hope for another yellow to get those tires later on?
Well, Dean Webb and Chris Lockwood, definitely not. Those two are not pitting, so we'll actually get a pretty good view of the differences there. Kevin McCann was the first car caught in that crash, and after his pit stop, he came off pit road in 9th. So great recovery by him, but that is why they are two of the best out there. Patrick Gitter was the first car up off pit road. Brian McCann the second. Charles Joplin, then Jeremy Edwards is 6th. Kayla McCarthy 7th. Adam Rickey is 8th. Kevin McCann is 9th. And John Lucido is 10th. And for Becky, Scotty Too Hottie now up to 11th. But Dean Webb and Chris Lockwood on old tires.
Yeah, good to see Adam Rickey breaking that top 10 in practice. I didn't see where he qualified, but I know in practice he was 12th, 13th, which is unusual from one of TDR's star drivers.
Adam qualified in 13th. It looked like he might have been struggling with the setup. He was one that was getting loose fairly regularly. So I think he had to adjust his driving just a little bit, which is what you have to do on a set when the tire pressures are low like that. You kind of have to adjust your entire way of driving for 2 or 3 laps. However, the drivers under caution can drag their brakes, and that will help actually build up those tire temperatures. And there might be, Tommy, there might be a guy that has a video on his YouTube channel about how to warm up your tires the best way.
Who would that be?
I think it's How to Suck at iRacing. That could be.
never heard of.
Neither. And I will say, most of those how-to videos came out of a question somebody asked, because there's videos for the standard stuff all over YouTube, and you can find something, but you always saw that argument. So I just took an hour or so one day and prove the theories. So there you have it. And if you have a random question that needs answered about iRacing, just give me a shout out.
Yeah, I know you and I have discussed it, outside of the booth, is you had to change the name from How to Suck at iRacing to How to Moderately Improve at iRacing. Because you have a lot of knowledge. You do. The title's not fitting.
I have a lot of knowledge, but I am terrible at applying it.
Some were born to teach, some were born to do.
This is true. And the pace car is diving back off, and green flag back in the air. Dean Webb gets a good launch, and remember, Dean and Chris on old tires. So we're about to see, as they go through 1 and 2, he is still holding he's actually building a bit of a lead, because he does not have to take it easy. Now, how long it takes McCann and Gitter to get to him is a whole nother question.
Yeah, and I think this playout, I think old tires, for me personally, I would have stayed on the old tires, kept the warmness, kept the air pressures where they were, and I think that's going to play out well early on, but their tires are obviously, 7, 8 laps older, so I think eventually when the air pressures do come up, if we can get 7 green laps in, the guys sitting 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th are going to easily catch up.
Yeah. And speaking of those back there, they're trying 3 wide here. 3 wide. On cold tires. It says in a cup car, it'd take about a lap and a half to get your tires to a comfortable temperature, 2 laps before you could really feel racy. In these cars, with this setup, it takes about 3 laps. One person that is charging her way through the field is Kayla McCarthy, who's now up battling for 7th place.
Look at her go.
Fully expect to see her up toward the front, and expect to see her possibly pull off a win as this series comes to a close, because every week she has picked up several more positions. And it's just awesome every time we see a girl on track. So looking forward to Becky getting out here.
Does she have an in-car camera on board? Can we dial up her steering wheel? See
Uh,
what she's working on?
let's see if we can.
I guarantee she's sawing that thing left and right. And this will be a good example. Watching the cars ahead of her, how much those rear ends step out, and you can see that red line on her steering wheel, how much she's having to correct for how loose that rear end is.
Yeah.
These things are not easy to drive.
No, they're not easy to drive on short tracks. They're fun as anything on iRacing to drive, but they are always a handful because they have so much power that on a short track you have to be easy on the throttle or you'll spin the car out, and on these faster tracks you got stability problems. So they're a handful anywhere you go. Makes them a challenge. It does make them fun, but I have to think, based on her, I'm willing to bet there's some cars up there, possibly like Austin Edwards. I saw his car moving around a lot that might actually be struggling and moving a lot more.
Yeah, and the drivability of these cars, it really is a driver car. You have to know how to handle this thing. It is the #1 reason why TDR selected this as their annual iRock car. It is probably the most difficult car to drive on the service when it comes to paved oval racing.
I have to tell you, one of the things about these is, if you watch the street stock race I broadcast Tuesday nights, you see how unplanted some of the cars are. You can watch a cup race and you'll see those cars, especially when they have the big spoiler, the high downforce, those cars around here, they look like they're glued to the track. Street stocks move around a little bit, but just watching these guys, they are all over the track. These cars are never settled, and they've got a lot more power than a street stock, and they are a lot more of a handful to run on these big tracks.
What's that saying from the production company we can't mention? Float like a Cadillac, sting like a Beamer.
Yeah. It looks like the fresh tires are finally starting to come into play. Patrick Gitter has gotten to the lead. Brian McCann is second. Dean Webb, the first car on old tires, currently in third. And Chris Lockwood has actually drifted back to about sixth place. But I'm wondering how many laps it'll take for those newer tires to stabilize, as they're going side by side right behind them.
Yeah, I think at some point they're going to...
And that was Adam Rickey got way loose on the bottom in two.
Kept it together. It shows the skill of the driver, him being able to save it, get back on track, didn't touch anything. Lost a lot of spots, but good for him keeping that together, because a lot of times when you get sideways in a super late model, you're done. You're done. We saw it earlier with Adam Richards. The best you can do is lock it up and get off the track.
Oh, definitely. Patrick Gitter is continuing to lead, and we've got a caution on track.
Yeah, it looks like the #9 Benjamin Richards.
It looks like we've got a few cars involved in this. Let's see if I can find where it started.
Yeah, on my monitor I caught that blue and white #9 kind of turn up into the wall, and I didn't catch any of the numbers that were stacking up behind his board.
It looks like Jason Richter, but I cannot tell if it started with him. Let's rewind just a hair. Looks like, he smacked the wall going into turn one. Scotty was there, and I couldn't tell who. I believe the 9 car was right behind him. Blair Patterson had to get a little bit evasive. There you see him. Let's see if we can find where he goes off track to dodge this incident, because he had an epic save. He did get a little bit of Scott, so that was the car behind that got Scott. I thought he cleared him. Fortunately, Scott avoided that first incident, so he'll still have his fast repair.
Blair Patterson coming through the grass down there. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
These things, with the amount of power the super late models have, even just coasting through the grass is a challenge. I mean, you touch the throttle the wrong way or give it a little bit too much wheel, and you can easily spin yourself out just trying to recover.
Now, we've gone more laps than they did before the first caution, and Justin Swafford is going to stay out and take the lead here.
I will say I expected a lot more yellows here just because of how tricky the car is itself, plus this highly tuned Makoni setup. They've done very well. They've done very well keeping these things under control.
Oh, yeah.
Lap after lap. I mean, especially on cold tires. I don't know if you practice on the setup, but I can tell you, being there personally, yuck.
I actually practiced on the original setup, and yeah, I had to make adjustments just to be able to drive it. I know probably some of the similar setup or adjustments that McConey's made, but yeah,
Yep.
it's even with the tire pressures up, it's super fast. But you got to be very, very careful. So Eric Steele stays out too. So Justin and Eric, we saw that group on those two cars on the last one. We saw Chris Lockwood drift back only to sixth, and he was maintaining pace with everybody. So this might be the wisest move right now.
Yeah, and Chris Lockwood and Eric Steele, the 32 and whatever number Lockwood's running, I think the 89 or 84. Those two are actually teammates in real life, so they're two to watch. The 84 is Lockwood,
Ah,
32 and 84. Watch out for those two.
yeah, I would imagine that we'll see more strategy plays out of the two of them, and I have to wonder what these guys are learning and sharing with their respective TDR or Nowski teams. You know, they're finding, hey, staying out here really didn't hurt that bad, and if they're sharing it with their respective teams, that could impact the overall outcome of the race.
Well, I'll tell you the amount of yellows we anticipate to have on the next yellow. Let's pull a driver in who's not pitting or anything, and see if we can get a gleam in the race. What's going on? And, you know, maybe not hang out till midnight doing post race interviews.
Good plan. Some of us have to be up very, very early tomorrow because there is a long race ahead tomorrow.
Absolutely, but the next yellow that drops, let's bring a driver in here and see how they're doing out there on the track and what they're learning from their teammates and also from the other team. I mean, watching some of the TDR guys, watching Pujanowski, who had more time in practice, I'm willing to bet they're learning from each other and they're learning from their opponents.
I am quite sure the best drivers do learn from everybody around them. And just a shout out going into tomorrow. As of right now, we have raised $797 for the MS race tomorrow. The links are on the How to Suck at iRacing Facebook page if you want to donate. Every dollar helps, and of course, if we hit 1677 by tomorrow morning, I will have to shave the beard.
Becky Flowers just weighed in that Scotty Too Hottie is in fact in this race. He is cussing.
I am quite sure he is. There was no way of avoiding that, and he was having a good run, just hanging out right outside the top 10. He was not pushing that car. You could tell he was waiting for the car to come to him. He now is back to 17th place as they get ready to go green again.
Yeah, that's kind of how racing goes sometimes. I mean, sometimes the event is unavoidable, and you have a good day you have a bad day through no fault of your own.
Some days you eat the bear, and some days the bear eats you.
That is the truth.
All right, Eric Steele, Justin Swafford are going to lead them down, both on old tires. Both picked up a ton of positions by staying out. Swafford is up 14 spots. Eric is up 10 spots. We'll see how long they can hold these guys off. Remember, they've got at least 10 lap older tires as the green flag drops.
Here we go.
And it looks like Eric is already losing ground up on the high side as he did not get a real good restart, and it is stacking them up back behind him. They were 3 wide briefly in 1 and 2.
Yeah, and as we're nearing the halfway point in this race, we're going to see these guys kind of pick up the pace a little bit, get a little more aggressive. But again, these cars, as hard as they are to drive, is now as we see them wrecking.
And somebody went 3 wide into that corner. Let's see. One of the McCanns is involved. This was Kevin this time.
Looks like a lot of TDR color flying around there.
Looks like the 3 car might have lost it there. As they go off into turn 3. Oh, the 3 car got a little bit of a love tap going into the corner and collected a bunch of guys. Kevin McCann, Stephen Hutchison involved.
Yeah, a lot of good cars involved in that incident. Oh.
And yeah, they couldn't even hold up at the top. The guys that were down on the apron just couldn't avoid it. Chris Lockwood, after staying out earlier, picking up a lot of track position, gets caught in it as well while they were trying to clean the track.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that many cars go sideways. It just builds a wall. Even the guys on the apron, they're down to 60 miles an hour, and they can't get woed up in time.
No, they really can't. And it is, you got a hard impact collecting 3 cars. It does build the wall, and the track is self-cleaning. So once the massive impact is done, and they'll start sliding down the track, there's not a whole lot they can do about it. Even if they're on the brakes, they're going to slide down the track a little bit.
Yeah, and I think most of our drivers that are involved in multiple incidents have gone through their quick repair. So expect to see a bunch of cars get filtered back and pretty much be out of this event at this point, I think.
We'll have to watch Kevin McCann closely because he's been caught more than once already tonight.
I think his brother Brian has as well too.
Brian's been caught once. I think Kevin's actually been caught twice. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. I'm interested to see. Do you think Swafford and well, the other car came to pit road. We'll see if Swafford stayed out. The other car was involved.
Yeah, seeing a lot of Nowski paint schemes up front there. If they're going to play by the team rules and race each other good and clean and give each other space, it's really TDR's job now to come back and fight through that top 10.
And Swafford stays out. You want to see if we can get a quick word with him?
Yeah, I'll get him pulled into the booth here real quick. Let me see if he's got his radio on. Hey, Swafford, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us?
Copy.
Yellow flag, you stayed out. What are you thinking?
Honestly, hoping these older tires stick better than new tires.
We've talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's like driving on skid plates out here in the first couple of laps, and then once you get going, they really come in.
How many laps do you think? Do you think you can make it to the end on that set of tires, and it'll give you a big advantage?
I think me and you both going to figure the answer to that one.
10-4.
Well, man, you got a lot of help behind you, a lot of friends back there. It's TDR's job to try to push back through that top 10. Best of luck to you.
Thank you.
And it sounds like it is a guessing game here.
You want to pull in one of the TDR guys and see how they're feeling out there?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Eric Steele volunteered to be pulled in under green flag, but we wouldn't do that to him. We're going to go ahead and pull him in under yellow. Hey, Eric, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us? It appears that Eric has his mic turned off, even though he said I could pull him in under green flag.
Well, he was caught in that issue, I think. So
it might be muted for our benefit.
it could be.
Oh, let me see if I can dial up. Trubley's a good one. One of the streamers. Hey, David, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us?
It was probably 4 wide on that last restart.
I don't think he has a read on me.
No, I don't think he
I
hears
think
you.
he's talking to his team still. Well, a little bit of inside team communications from TDR there.
And
back with it.
yeah, it looks like we are about to go green there. And I think he was right. It was close to 4 wide on that last start. But now the Nowski Nation really dominating the top 10. They've got 9 of the top 10 positions.
I see a lot of clean noses out there, so maybe there was another faster pair available. Do you know how many they have for this event?
I believe it was 2.
Okay, so this must be the last one a lot of these guys have used.
Yeah, definitely. And it's good to see Scotty Too Hottie up in the top 10. He is in 10th. And my buddy Bernheimer is up to 7th as they go green one more time.
I'm sure Becky loves that as we go green.
And somebody just went 3. They're 4 wide down the front straightaway. Oh,
That's interesting.
This won't end well. Everybody in the top 10 did stay out, though, so this could be a smart strategy play, but wow.
Yeah, in a team environment, I don't know why you would take your teammates 4 wide, but maybe they're confident enough and they've practiced enough that they could pull off that rolling roadblock, so to speak.
Yeah, it looks like it because they have shuffled the two TDR cars to the back, and one of them is slipping back very quickly. I believe that is actually David Trumbley is losing a lot of ground very, very quickly. He didn't hit the wall. It just looks like he lost a bunch of momentum there.
Actually, as they came across the start-finish there for the first time after the green flag, he did scrub that wall a little bit on the outside.
Ah, that would explain it. And you see Scott is just laying back. Oh, we've got a car up in the wall. Scott manages to avoid him. Might have gave him a little love tap to straighten him out.
Yeah, I think we'll stay green through that.
Charles Joplin got loose on the high side through 3 and 4, but Scott managed to correct him and probably gave himself a little aero adjustment back there as well.
Sometimes those aero adjustments work out.
You never know which one it is unless you're really practicing a lot, which aero adjustment works out.
I have no idea how he pulled this off, but Kevin McCann just asked us to give Brian McCann a throttle control lesson.
He should probably
in the chat on the stream while he's driving.
Actually, he is off track at the moment.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
And we're under caution again, as it looks like Matthew Boston Wheeler he got net coded into 3.
Well, Kevin, I am not the one to give Brian a throttle control lesson. I'm probably one of the scariest drivers out there, but I heard Adam Rickey runs a racing school over there at TDR.
I am 99% sure that was all netcode. Oh no, that was 74, and the 19 just gave each other a little hug. And the 9,
so cuddly.
Yeah, and Matthew Boston Wheeler comes out on the short end of the stick on that deal, but the car, fortunately, he saves it, and the car is completely undamaged. Austin Edwards is the only car to come down pit road this time.
Well, this will shake things up a little bit. I mean, the top 10 is going to stay where it's at. Hopefully some of those guys in the back are going to do what they can to fight their way forward.
It looks like Austin Edwards, Adam Rickey, Kayla McCarthy, Anthony Hooker, and Benjamin Richards all on pit road, and it appears Timothy Perkins did not even start the race. We've got 14 for each team, and it appears Kevin McCann is out.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Kevin McCann being one of the ringers for TDR, one of the star drivers that they bring into this field week in, week out. That's gonna hurt their chances to pull this one off.
And apparently his brother needs a throttle control lesson.
Well, Kevin said it. I didn't.
So Justin Swafford's tire strategy so far is working.
Yeah, and I don't think his strategy is a bad one. I think having the comfort and confidence of warm tires going into these restarts, that helps. Just the confidence of knowing your car is where you left it helps a little bit. Will it work long term? I think you and I both know the answer to that.
Oh, we might have called this one too soon. Oh!
Look at him deacon at the pit lane.
And, okay, let's see if anybody fell for it. Oh, we had one car. Nope, nobody fell for it. But he even had me fooled there for a second.
You can't blame him for trying.
No, you really can't. And the unfortunate part of it is Patrick Gitter and Jeremy Edwards behind him. They almost met in the middle, getting back up off of pit road, trying to avoid making that stop. So definitely an interesting strategy out of Swafford, especially with his entire team right there with him.
Yeah, it's this is going to be an interesting finish. TDR has a lot of work to do to get up there, and really now a lot of pressure is on Pudjanowski to maintain that team aspect and not fight with each other too much. They don't want to create their own big one and hand it right back to the guys they're currently in control of.
Yeah, David Trumbley is the only TDR car in the top 10 right now. Now, they could not, I don't think there's any way Nowski could lock it up this week. However, with David Trumbley being the only car in the top 10, and Jason Ricker there as well. I mean, this could be, this could almost end the series here tonight with one more race to go.
Well, I mean, you and I have both proven we're not great at math.
This is true.
It was what a 17-point advantage for Pujanowski coming into the second to last event. I don't know if they can lock it up. The reason I say that is even if Pujanowski finished top 15 and TDR finished bottom 15, TDR still gets points. If the roles reversed in that last race, or whatever the shakeout is, I don't think there's enough of a gap there to really say they can lock it up. But we do have a guy over on Team TDR, Andy, who calculates all the points, who is good at math, and he will let us know at some point tomorrow, and we'll post the results.
I don't think either team can lock it up, but I think Nowski can create an almost insurmountable point lead. I mean, a situation where it's mathematically possible, but not realistically possible. But with so many laps left to go, I mean, just under 30 to go, everything could completely change, and we've seen that happen a little bit already with Kevin McCann already out and Brian McCann outside the top 10. We've got two of the best of TDR outside the top 10 tonight.
Yep, that's absolutely true, and if we have to go to it, we'll go to a fairy tale story as the pace car pulls off.
And they are down and away into turn one. Justin is still holding on to that lead, and it looks like further back, we saw a lot of 3 and 4 wide on the last restart. This restart, they're playing it a little bit kinder.
I think they recognize they made each other nervous, and now they're going to be nice.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think Trumbley might have a little something for everybody because he is down on the bottom trying to get around Lucido here as they come down the front straightaway.
If you've ever tuned into his stream, Davey T EZ on Facebook, the kid's got speed. He's not the fastest guy on the track all the time, but he is the fastest guy on the track pretty often.
And in the mix now, Scotty Too Hottie. We have not seen him in the top 10 for several races, but he's managed to avoid quite a bit of chaos that happened. He's only been caught in one incident that happened right in front of him, and he just couldn't avoid everything else. Somehow he is magically avoided tonight. I think he was due a little bit of luck in this series.
No, I agree. It's great to see him up there. He's one of the drivers that I think has been here day one, has run every race for Team Pujanowski. So to see him performing well in an event he supported, it's a good thing to see.
Yeah, and Justin Swafford has now dropped back to second as Patrick Gitter takes the lead for Nowski and takes the lead on the race. But the front Nowski group is starting to build a lead. The top 6 cars have broken away. 7th place, John Lucido is a little bit behind. Benjamin Richards had another incident. Let's see what happened. Oh! He hit the wall hard, but managed to get off the track without drawing a caution. So good job on that, but ow.
Another good maneuver by him, getting off that track, recognizing to swing out wide, get down on that apron, hit the brakes, Again, it's rare to say good job when you see someone, have an accident, but good job, getting clear and getting off the track and keeping it green for the rest of the guys out here running the race.
And as soon as I said something about Lucido and his little group falling back, here they come through the field. We had several cars just suddenly go flying back up, and they are battling for every position, even though they're all on the same team, and caution is out again.
Well, everybody wants to win. It's a team event, and you expect people to respect their teammates, and I think they do respect each other. But at the end of the day, if a teammate's faster, you're supposed to let your teammate by to support this type of point-style racing. And maybe they're just trying to show some dominance and try to be the one to chase that W at the end of the day.
And it's interesting that I am not seeing any incident that brought out the caution. The only thing I can suspect is that Benjamin Richards came back up on track at the right time to draw a caution here. Just, he was struggling to get that car down. He was down on the apron, and I think he just didn't get the car back up on track. And apparently Scott has a lucky charm here tonight. Becky is with him.
That must be it.
I would assume so.
Well, Becky, never leave his side.
Yeah, Jason Coleman saying Team Pudge is looking great right now. They definitely are, as everybody is coming to pit road. We'll see if anybody stays out. I'm not seeing anybody stay out. Anthony, nope, he came to pit road too. So everybody stays out. Benjamin Richards, or everybody comes to pit road. Benjamin Richards being a lap down, he is staying out. We'll see if he comes in as well, or he may get waved around back to the, he might get one of his laps back here, but he's currently 6 laps down.
Yeah, we would expect him to get his lap back and then settle in at the tail end of the long climb.
Definitely so. And watching to see who comes up off of pit road first. And I'm not hugely surprised. It's a McCann, Brian McCann, back to the front.
Well, while we're under yellow here, let's get Becky all fired up. You want to bring in Scotty Too Hottie?
Let's bring in Scotty Too Hottie.
Hey, Scott, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us, buddy?
Hey there, Mr. Tommy. How are you and Doug doing up there today?
Oh, we just pulled you in to talk to your biggest fan out there.
Oh, hi Becky. How are you?
No, in all seriousness, man, part of Team Pudge, you've been here, I think, since day one, have made every one of these events. You're up there in the top 10 as far as when the yellow came out. You're looking good out there, and we think you deserve it. How you feeling about the way this race is going?
It's definitely a driver's race. There's no question about that. This car is just, you got to drive it. You got to be a wheelman.
Are you going to be able to get back? It showed you came out off pit road in about 15th. You lost some spots on pit road. Are you going to be able to easily get back up there in the top 10 and help the Nowski Nation continue to dominate tonight?
We're going to sure try. We're going to do what we can. Hopefully the car will stay underneath us and take this thing back up to the front.
Don't forget to drag your brakes to warm your tires.
That's illegal, sir.
Well, best of luck. 90% throttle over the start finish line.
I go full throttle. Heck with it.
Just send it.
Just send it.
Just full. It wouldn't be Scotty if I didn't.
This is true. This is the most true statement ever made.
I got cars in front of me with bumpers, so there's my stopping.
Good luck, Scott.
Lights are going off next time by. Best of luck to you, buddy.
All right, y'all have a good time out there. Bye.
You too.
Thanks.
Oh, man.
We've got 2 TDR cars back at the front, and that's got to be... No, excuse me. I thought I saw another... Oh, that is the lap down car. So we've got 1 TDR car up at the front, surrounded by the Nowski Nation. Brian McCann, that has got to be the loneliest man in the world right now.
Oh, I would say so. Yeah, it looks like Benjamin Richards did take his wave around from the base car.
Yep, so he is now going to pick one of his laps back up, and good job of him staying out there. The way this race is going, we could see more cars out before this is all said and done. We've still got just under 20 laps to go, so more cars come out of this thing. He could pick up some position and some points for his team.
Yeah, we preach a lot of TDR. You actually get bonus iRacing points if you spend the entire league race. Even if you're wrecked out, spend the entire event there, because sometimes those last 2 laps, even if you're 17 laps down, you might pick up 3 points here, 4 points there. And that's what it means to be a driver. You want every point you can get for the end of the season.
This is definitely true. And as they come through 3 and 4, the pace car will drop off here, and I think it's about to get even wilder with less than 20 laps to go. Could it get wilder?
Oh, it could.
A green flag is in the air. I think we're about to find out. Brian McCann away very quickly. No surprise there. And Nowski Nation hot on his heels.
I wonder if he got any throttle control lessons while he was in the pits.
Kevin, are you still watching? Have you talked to your brother?
I was actually going to pull Kevin in for an interview because he's one I can trust not to swear when he's upset, but he's unavailable.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, he must be swearing.
Yeah, probably so. But it looks like Brian is under full attack, and I am not surprised to say he's under attack by the 28 of Kevin Bernheimer, who started back in 19th. It's also worth noting we talked about Otto Cruz earlier, haven't talked about him much since. He's now up to 5th after starting 25th. Jason Ricker, who started in 17th, is now up to 6th, and Austin Edwards, who started in 24th, in the top 10.
Yeah, looking at Brian out there, without a friend behind you, I would almost want to let these guys by. I feel like I would be a nervous Nelly with these cars coming up behind me as quick as they are.
Yeah, you and I might be, but he's Brian McCann, so
Well,
there is that.
one man can always fall to an army.
This is true, and it looks like that's what's happening. Nowski is teaming up through the corners, and Bernheimer's got a lot of draft help here on the straightaway. They're going to give him a little bit of a push here, and it looks like Bernheimer will assume the lead at the line.
Yeah, aero won't be huge at this track, but there will be a small amount of the aero effect, and I think the teammates are going to use that to their advantage.
You'd be surprised, having driven these recently at a super speedway, you'd be surprised how much aero comes into play on a track bigger than a mile in these cars.
I can't drive one straight long enough to draft, so.
And now Brian McCann is surrounded. The lone TDR car in the top 10 is literally boxed in. He's going to have a fight on his hands, but who knows?
Well, he's definitely getting tribe points. He's currently running as the hero.
That is the truth. And a quick update on Scott, up to 13th after restarting 15th. So he's on the move as well. Looking back through the field, some other names worth noting. Anthony Hooker, who started in 26th, had been as high as 12th, drifted back a little bit. He is on his way back up. He is in 21st. David Trumbley, after that last... Oh, we've got another wreck on track. Caution is out.
Oh, here they go again, and it was... Oh, no.
Jeremy Edwards right at the front. Just loose and then got tapped. Several cars had to go through, or had to go off track and get evasive. Adam Rickey, it looks like Scott and Adam got really loose coming down, trying to avoid that.
Yeah, it looks like on track he only picked up one or two cars behind him that made contact. Ricky seems to have made the best of it through there. The other gentleman, he made an early retreat to pit road.
Scott,
as he catches air through the infield.
Scott, I have seen him do this, and honestly, you talk about Dale Earnhardt's passing the grass years ago. I've seen Scott pull it off, stay full throttle, and actually fall back in line without losing a position. So I'm not surprised to see that out of him.
Rewind that 25 back, the 25 that went through the grass. He caught a good 2 feet of air ramping over one of the pass-throughs for tow trucks on the infield.
Oh, yeah, he did. Let's take another look at that.
And still kept it straight, which is a feat in a super late model.
Oh, yeah.
Boom!
Scott catching air. Now, he does a lot of...
there.
Yeah. And he does a lot of Pro 4 and rally stuff. I'm guessing that's where he learned that trick. And, you know, he might have learned that trick jumping over my Pro 4 truck. Just saying.
It reminds me of when I put my lawnmower in Rabbit.
He was definitely mowing the grass there. And let's take a quick... He actually gained a position through that. He is now scored in 12th. So,
of course.
As I said, he is exceedingly good at that. Another name worth mentioning, Chris Lockwood had pitted off cycle with a lot of guys, and he is now back up into 6th. So he is the second car in the top 10 from Team TDR, and it looks like Adam Rickey is now up to 11th after earlier issues and being caught in a couple of incidents. He is now working his way back to the front, but he has Pujanowski himself in 10th right there with him.
Yeah, Ricky, one of the TDR rock stars. It's uncommon for him to have such a poor performance at the track, but you know he's a fighter. He's one of those guys that preaches attrition and staying out of trouble and you know keeping the car clean. good to see him up there. Good to see him up there. It's unfortunate not to see him up front where he normally is, but he's making his way back.
Looks like we will restart with about 8 laps to go. Everybody's going to be pushing for everything they can get. Only the cars at the back of the field came to pit road this time. Adam Rickey actually came to pit road, so a lot of cars behind him as well. But now the question really becomes, how many of these guys, how hard do these guys push that are on the fresh tires and further back, and how hard do the guys at the front try and battle with a Brian McCann or a Chris Lockwood?
8 laps to go. Super late models on a tuned-up Marconi setup at Atlanta. 8 laps to go. Everybody's battling. Everybody's battling hard.
Okay, how long before we see 4 wide again?
Lap 1.
Yeah. Crossing the start-finish line as the green flag drops, they're going to probably be 4 wide mid-pack, if not right at the front.
This is going to be something to watch. This is going to be the restart to determine this race, I think. I think this restart's going to determine who wins and who goes home.
I'd have to agree with you, but TDR starting to make a comeback here after Nowski domination so far tonight. So right outside the top 10, there is a ton. If you look back through the field, you see that top 10 is all Nowski, but right behind them is just a sea of TDR. So they've got to, Nowski's got it all to lose here. TDR, they can just send it.
Yep, TDR's got to go to work, but I mean, 8 laps to go. We have some green-white checkered. Anything can happen out here, and I don't think it's over till it's over.
Oh, definitely not. And I heard Scott say it. He's just going to send it. I think we're going to see everybody out there just sending it. Most of these cars on the old tires, they know what they've got. I don't think we'll see anybody else hit pit road before the end of this race. As pace car drops off.
Send it, boys.
And green flag is in the air. Brian McCann does not get a good start. Stacks the field up a little bit. Not sure what happened there, and he manages to get it back up to speed, but Kevin Bernheimer, he's checking out.
We had a single car in the back there spin out into the grass. I don't think that's going to bring a yellow, but someone's definitely in last.
Yeah, you want to take a guess at who it is?
Nope.
Andy Shaner.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. Sorry to break that bad news, but the team lead for TDR is now all the way to the back.
Yeah, Andy's another one. He's been here since race 1. He's been to every event. I mean, he helps, he helps me put a lot of this stuff together. I help him put a lot of this stuff together. It's I wish I could see a better turnout for him.
Oh.
Par for the course. I'll see you in IROC, Andy.
Yeah, caution is out. Looks like Larry Johnson involved. And it looks like he had a little bit of help and several cars collected in the back. Larry Johnson, Matthew, Boston Wheeler. Oh, Matthew's not had any luck tonight.
I've always found it funny as broadcasters when people are having accidents. We always say they had a little bit of help. That's not help. Why do we say that?
You make a very valid point. I'm going to have to rethink the phrasing on that one this week.
Did we just say that because we're being polite and don't want to pick sides? I mean, a little bit of help?
Yeah.
A little bit of help what?
A little bit of help adjusting your direction on the track.
But it's not helpful if it didn't correct you.
Oh, that's true. Scott was helpful earlier in the night with his teammates.
It should be a little bit of turmoil, a little bit of physical turbulence, if you will.
That is definitely the truth. And it looks like, I think I called this one, the only 2 cars on pit road, 3 cars now, Dave Trumbley, John Lucido, we're starting to see some from the back, Stephen Hutchison, Blair Patterson, all on pit road. Everybody else staying out. They've got old tires, and they've got some heat in them. Could make things very interesting.
Yeah. This whole event has been interesting. We've seen a lot of dominance by Pujanowski, and then with these miscellaneous events in the back, even though I still think Pujanowski is going to come out on top as far as who places where in the top 10, there's a lot of points back there outside the top 10 that have to be sorted out as well.
And now you got McCann and Lockwood together on track in 4th and 5th. So that's going to definitely help Team TDR. But it's looking like a lot more as you look back through the field and just looking at the paints.
Yep.
It's looking worse and worse for Team TDR this week. And that's a bit of a heartbreak because we knew this would possibly come down to the last race. But it's just not looking great for TDR's chances in this long-term 10-race battle.
Well, everyone loves a fairy tale story, and I've heard TDR is now investing in Disney stock.
Well, you can definitely get. We could probably get Tinkerbell into drift some magic, whatever, pixie dust. That's the stuff I'm trying to think of.
Yeah. Just think happy thoughts and fly.
Oh yeah, it works for me every day. And it looks like we may go to. We will have a natural green-white checkered if I've calculated this right, and then we'll have a couple available, which I'm guessing from that restart we're probably going to need.
Now TDR is praying for a couple of them, and a couple of them that involve nothing but Nowski guys, because really they're dominating the top 15 easily.
They definitely are, and it's interesting because if you recall back, the first couple of races in this challenge were dominated by TDR. I mean, Nowski was they could barely get one car into the top 10, and the first few races, the points just kept building for TDR, and then there was a sudden flip-flop around race 4 or 5, and suddenly we're starting to see some Nowski dominance here.
Yeah, I think Nowski Nation has done a really good job as a team. Early on, it was very sloppy, very, very messy. Not to be insulting, it's just the way it was. It was a hodgepodge team of guys that Nowski brought, a lot of his streamers, a couple guys he raced with, and they really have formed a good team. And they've worked together and built this thing up to where they're now in contention with a bunch of guys that run together all the time. And I don't want to be telling tales out of school. Regardless of who wins this series, I do believe there is another series in the works.
And I have to agree that there has been those discussions, and I think those discussions included some road races, which would be great.
That'll shake things up. David Trumbley will be one to watch in those road races for sure.
Scotty Too Hottie will be one to watch as well. He ran the 24 Hours of Daytona as part of my team. So, yeah, I mean, you've got some road racers mixed. Kevin Bernheimer and, crap, I just went blank on a couple other guys out there that I can think of that I've seen on road course races and are great. So we could have some interesting battles, and I think the points next season will be even closer.
Yep, TDR's got a few. TDR's 2020 iRock champion, Lucas Cortman. He puts down hot road laps. Keith Fonseca, really good at road courses. If we did a rallycross course, Keith Fonseca would put on a school.
All right, green flag back in the air. I don't think it'd be fair to use Lucas, personally. That's just me. He's,
Whatever.
All right, down and away, and Bernheimer in the lead for the moment. And he's got help behind him, but Brian McCann is down on the bottom, and he's got a little bit of drafting help with Chris Lockwood. They're looking to the inside to see if they can make something happen, but we've seen that inside line.
One car spinning in the back there.
Caution's out, and it is unfortunately going to be Andy Shaner.
Oh.
Let's see what happened. It looks like he was avoiding a car that got into the wall and just bounced off the wall himself a little bit there. Let's try and take another, since the cameraman just can't seem to start the replays at the right spot.
Look at those iRock paints. Those iRock paints look good, don't they?
Oh, they do. And it looks like, I'm not going to say he got help. I'm going to say he got redirected.
Right. He got redirected. Right into the camera, nice and close where we can see his name. on that sexy iRock paint. I cannot wait for this iRock series this year.
That is going to be cool to watch.
Oh, are we broadcasting it?
I was asked about it, and I was game for it. I'll put it that way. So,
Awesome. It really is. It is the best of TDR. Top 30 get in. We have, I think, 230 drivers with qualifying points right now. So, of those 230 drivers, the best 30 will be the ones you get to watch.
and yeah, that considering some of the people in TDR, that's an impressive group of 30. Because
It
I've
is.
raced with probably, I don't know, 50 to 70 of your guys, and I always lose to them. So,
Me too.
except Scott, I'll wreck Scott to win.
Well, and Andy will tell you, he accidentally wrecked me in the final race at Dover in iRock 2020, and I got my T-shirt and I'm happy about it. But I owe him one.
Yeah, those, and it's amazing how often you don't forget those. I've seen a lot of that
That
on.
happened. That happened last year, and I still have the video saved on my phone to throw up on the posts every now and then to remind him.
That does come in handy, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, it does.
I might have a few incidents saved as well and I find it funny because even when you're running in a league like some of the leagues I broadcast, you see stuff carry over from week to week, and you can't always broadcast what goes on in the background because a lot of it you wouldn't really want on a broadcast. But things can get very dicey, and they did not complete a lap, and it looks like we are going single file restart for the green white checkered.
Yeah, and I love Andy. Brother from another mother, but I want to meet him at iRock again.
And he's going to be introduced to the chrome horn there, isn't he?
Maybe. Maybe. If I'm not winning.
Hey, whatever gets the job done. Kevin Bernheimer and Otto Cruz will be up front, and I cannot really tell if the lights are still on the pace car or not.
It looks like they're still on.
They're still on. So we may get they did not complete a green flag lap. Per iRacing, they can, it would automatically switch it to a single file restart. However, the admins can override that, and as everybody's starting to look kind of too whitish as they get ready for the one to go here.
And I see a couple more of those TDR green cars filtering with that black and lime green Nowski has going on up there. The top 6.
Yes, in fact, we've got Brian McCann up there. You've got Chris Lockwood and Adam Rickey up there now.
Who is in that black and blue number 9 again? Was that
Jason
TDR guy or?
Jason Ricker.
That's a TDR guy.
So there you go. You've got 4 up in the top 10. So TDR
With 3 to go.
With 3 to go, TDR is starting. We saw them all hanging out right outside the top 10, but now the money's on the line, so to speak. And here they go with a 2-wide restart. And TDR seems to be a lot better on the older tires because they're starting to work their way forward.
Ahem. Boogity, boogity, boogity.
Indeed.
Oh, they're on the backstretch. Never mind. I was looking at the delayed monitor.
Yeah, they as they enter turn 3, they did stack up 2 wide, so we will have a 2-wide restart on a green-white checkered.
All right, let me do the boogity, boogity, boogity though. I really want to. I've never done it. I want to do it.
All right, you can do it. I'll tell you when the pace car drops off, and you can.
Let me put on my Michael Waltrip voice.
Pace car is in.
Boogity, 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 boys and girls.
All right, green, white, checkered. Hopefully the one and only attempt here as they go down into turn 1. Bernheimer in the lead.
This is going to be a heated battle coming in turn 1.
And we've got a McCann on the high side. He is already up into 3rd. He restarted a little further back, but he is charging forward with no help. We've got cars down.
We got cars down low. We're going to see another yellow, another green, white checker. I love it.
Oh, Becky's not going to love this one. Because I'm sure she realized the same thing we did. And it looks like somebody got stuck on the wall. Scott and several other cars went evasive at the same time.
Yeah.
And Scott caught the worst of it. That car has heavy damage. However, I believe he's only used one fast repair, so he might still be in contention in this. But
Yeah, Scotty stayed pretty clean the whole race. I think he might have a quick stop and go.
yeah, and it looks like Bernheimer and Otto are still up front, but Brian McCann now up to third. Patrick Gitter is fourth. Chris Lockwood now in fifth. Jason Ricker is being scored in sixth. I'm sorry, Austin Edwards is in sixth. Jason Ricker is in seventh. Swafford is now in eighth. Ninth is Dean Webb, and Pudge is in 10th.
I tell you, you and I have both broadcast a lot of races for our mutual groups. This is some of the most exciting racing I've ever had the pleasure to call. It really is.
After watching this, I honestly think that my Friday night league might do street stocks at a bigger track like this again, because this looks like it'd be a ton of fun once you got the tire, a little more air in the tires, and a little bit more stability. It'd be exciting.
Let's see if we can dial up one of the TDR guys. We haven't done a lot of yellow flag interviews with them. We already know Tremblay's not reliable. Let's bring in Lockwood. He's still up in there, isn't he?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Let me try to get him dialed up here real quick. Hey, Chris, this is Tommy in the booth. Can you speak to me without saying a bad word?
He is.
He apparently has his radio turned off as well. I'll give him on the count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lockwood missed his opportunity of fame. See, the TDR guys, they're so dialed into their racing, they don't even want to talk to us. I pull in any Nowski guy, open book. Anybody on TDR, radio's off.
Well, that just shows they are focused and working their way to the front as they stack back up and get ready to go green, white, checkered one more time. I believe this will be the final green, white, checkered.
Yeah, I'd pull Adam Ricky in here, but he's a man of so few words. Might as well do him for the post race. He runs Home Track Heroes on Wednesday week, and then he does a super late model event. So this is his little driving school he runs. You know, it's a great event, great for learning short track racing. 3-word limit under green flag. If the green flag is down, you cannot say more than 3 words while the race is going on.
That's an interesting concept.
Well, talking's not needed. Car high. Going high. Lucky dog outside. You know?
Sorry. Thank you. Yeah, that actually works.
It's very strict, but it does teach a lot of racing discipline. But what he does there is, it's a very interesting thing he's doing on Wednesdays. I love it. When I can make one of those events, I love it. I learn so much while I'm out there.
I actually like to talk to somebody. It's beneficial when you're a streamer, but if I get too focused, I'll forget to talk for long periods of time. Tomorrow morning, I have people that will actually be dropping in Discord to talk to me. Just to, it looks like they're going to go one more time around and sort everybody out, but yeah. Tomorrow morning, I have people that are supposed to drop in and talk to me throughout the day, so that, or throughout the 4 hours, so that I don't just completely lose my mind.
I will. I have to get my daughter tomorrow, so I won't be doing the racing stuff. But I will find time to pop in on my phone and encourage you, because I know how grueling those events are.
Yeah.
Just someone popping in and saying hi and how you doing. It's like, oh my God, someone to talk to. I just did 30 laps of something.
Yeah, I'm fully prepared if the first hour doesn't go well, if I get wrecked out, to do the second one. But I'm really hoping I can get the 4 hours in on the first shot, because I don't know how long I could survive.
Attrition, man. Just play it safe. Run your race. Get no incidents. Do your thing. Pick up your spots, because other guys will wreck out.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, get your spots, do the best you can, and, you know, halfway through the event, 2 hours left, crank it up a little bit, because you're already comfortable. You got it. You got it. I'll tune in.
All right, man. And y'all don't forget to tune in. We'll be live at 8 Eastern in the morning and doing the MS race, and you can find how to donate on the How to Suck at iRacing Facebook page. as the pace car drops off finally. Here we go. Final.
Boogity, boogity, boogity.
That's right. Final green, white, checkered. Here we go. And Bernheimer gets another good restart. Everybody is sorted behind him.
Yep, next flag will end this race.
Everybody getting through turn 2 very cleanly this time. We've got one car way back there. He managed to hold on to it. Little bit of
3 wide.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit crazy as Lockwood's starting to pick up some positions here, and he's got Brian McCann. Those two trying to work their way back into things. White flag in the air. And Bernheimer is under attack by Otto Cruz coming through 1 and 2. And the two TD. Oh, Brian McCann got way loose on the bottom coming out of turn 2. Bernheimer, that high side, he is managing to hold the lead. Will he be able to keep it as they go through 3 and 4? Otto Cruz right there with him, coming to the line. It will be Bernheimer at the line. Otto Cruz finishes second. Brian McCann and Chris Lockwood rally for third and fourth. Patrick Gitter is fifth. Jason Ricker is sixth. Justin Swafford seventh. Dean Webb is eighth. Pujanowski is ninth. And Adam Rickey comes home in 10th.
Well, Pujanowski dominated that top 10. 1, 2. We got TDR. 3 and 4. They sort back. We got a TDR guy in 6th, then we got a TDR guy in 10th. The rest of them Pujanowski. And then we have whatever happened behind the top 10 cars, right? I can't wait to see the math on this.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, Clug, I am talking about the 4 hours of Charlotte tomorrow morning as Austin Edwards. Austin Edwards doing a little show for us out of turn 4.
Everybody wins. At the end of a TDR versus Pujanowski, the winner shouldn't get his donuts. I mean, I know you won. You know, you want to do your donuts. Everybody should get to do a donut at the end.
And it looks like the entire Nowski Nation is going to give it a shot because they're all, see if we can get a better angle, as Bernheimer is starting to do a burnout on the wall, and everybody is... Oh,
I love it.
It is great stuff. Team Nowski knows they dominated tonight. They're probably feeling very confident. Well, let's see if we can dial up Mr. Bernheimer. I'm looking forward to talking to him.
Absolutely. He's probably looking forward to talking to us. This is his moment to shine, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Bernheimer, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on us, buddy? You got your radio turned off, Bernheimer. You want to cut that on real quick? You're the star tonight.
Kevin, this is Doug. Unmute yourself.
He must be drunk on W's.
I'm guessing. Or ate too many donuts from the... he just blew his engine.
I'm going to leave him in here. If he figures out how to turn on his radio, speak at any time. Who came in second in that event?
We got Otto Cruz coming home in second place.
Hey, Otto, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on me?
Yes, sir.
So we tried to talk to the winner, but he obviously doesn't want to talk to us. How does second place feel?
Second place feels good. Feels good. It's a team effort. We all agreed that it didn't matter who won as long as we had the most cars up in the top 10.
Absolutely. You guys definitely killed it tonight. Very dominant. I think towards the end, the point shakeout's going to be... It's in your favor, but I don't think it's going to be as dominant as the rest of the race was. Early on, you guys were killing it. What was your key to having everyone stay up there?
So we put a lot of work into this. This was a very, very tough setup, very tough car track combo. It was so bad that it was loose on the front straightaway. So it took everybody a little bit of time to get used to it, and we just put the laps in and just did the work.
I
we
noticed.
Did 2 hours before tonight's race.
I noticed I actually hosted a TDR practice event for this race, and you guys had already been practicing for an hour when I put mine up. So you guys definitely put the time in, and it shows.
Yeah, and there was great team communication. I couldn't be more proud of the Nowski Nation guys tonight. TDR did well, too. I was very skeptical coming in to this race because I was worried it would ruin the relationship that we're trying to build between the two, because this is just so much fun. But it was awesome. We ran side by side. Not a whole lot of people got into each other. It was good, clean racing for what it was.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that too. You know, between the two groups, we've had some incidents. We've had a lot of guys chasing that W and being a little reckless. And I think what we saw tonight was what we were going for all along. And going into this last race, the points, Pujanowski's still going to be in a pretty good, favorable position. But it's anybody's race going into this final event.
Yeah, and we're looking forward to next week. This is a fun series. I hope we continue to keep this going next season.
It's
And
been discussed.
it's just awesome. We all look forward to it every week in, week out, and we're doing better at getting things cleaned up, and we're working on it for sure.
Well, good deal, Otto. It was great to see you guys out there putting in that teamwork. I mean, your teamwork showed, your practice showed, the effort showed. You guys, I'm pretty sure, came home with a W. I got to let you go. It looks like we do have Bernheimer on the line, and we got to let him celebrate that #1, man. But congratulations.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys for putting us on.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to try to get Bernheimer dialed in. Looks like he's popped back up into the Discord. Hey, Bernheimer, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on me? Bernheimer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Kevin, don't you love me anymore?
Well,
Apparently not.
apparently not.
Oh, wait a minute. I just got a message from him. Hang on a second. It won't let him unmute himself. So bring him back in here and we'll see if we can unmute him.
Bernheimer, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on me?
I am not showing him muted on our end. Do you have any oh, there
No,
we go.
he's self-muted. There he goes. He's unmuted himself. Bernheimer, do you have a read on me? He's not muted. He must be having some kind of radio communication error. This is live TV, brother. We can't wait all day.
Well, I know you can hear me, Kevin. Man, congratulations.
Right, Jeremy.
Oh, there you are.
There he is.
I don't know what the heck is going on, man. I can talk fine on the other channel. As soon as you guys pull me in, it all goes to heck.
Yeah, the internet can be weird, man, but you got the W. How you feel?
I did. I'm in shock. I did not expect it at all.
Well, not only did you get the W, your whole team more than likely got the W in this event. Are you shocked about that?
No, I'm confident in all the guys on the Nowski Nation all the time. I'm more shocked with my performance than theirs.
Yeah, we just talked to Cruz, and it's really shown how you guys have started from this hodgepodge group of like guys that sometimes race with Pudge, and some of the guys that watch his stream, and you guys have really formed a team similar to kind of what TDR brought to the event early on. How you feeling going into this last race? You guys are still going to have a pretty big advantage, but TDR is going to bring it. You feel pretty confident you guys are going to show up and show out?
Oh, yeah. We'll be there to race. We always come to race, but iRacing Super Speedway, anything can happen there. So hopefully nothing too crazy goes down.
I've already made the suggestion to Andy and Matt, 30 cars on each team. What do you think?
Yeah, that would work real well.
No, it wouldn't.
Right.
but it would definitely shake up the points.
Right, 60 start and 5 finish.
Right.
It would be a fun show, and you were actually pretty dominant tonight. I know you're being humble about it, but you were in the top 5 all night, worked your way up there, and kind of pulled off some great moves to get yourself in a position for the win.
Yeah, I was like I said, I was kind of surprised myself. I never can qualify that good for some reason, but when it comes to get down to the racing end of deal, I usually can come from the back to the front and show up there at the end. When they open the pay window, as they say.
So, for personal reference, how does it feel to beat a McCann?
Oh, it's big. I was looking in my mirror the whole time like he's right there. I passed him under green too. He only had 2 tires, but that's okay. I still passed him.
Oh, we saw, we
Yeah.
saw. And that is huge, man. The McCanns, I mean, they're some of those aliens in iRacing, right? 6,000 plus iRating. These guys are super fast. Kevin had a ton of trouble. Brian's still out there, and you passed him under green. That has to be a heck of a feeling.
Oh yeah, that was great. That was one of the highlights of the night for sure. You don't get to drive around him very often.
Heck yeah. Well, make sure you save that replay and post it in the TDR Facebook group over there because Kevin said Brian needs some throttle control lessons.
Yeah, there you go. It was. I mean, I don't know. The setup was crazy for the first like 2 laps. If you were held it wide open on the straightaway, it would spin you out. Or that going into three stuff. If you were wide open the first 2 laps, you couldn't save it. It would just automatically just snap on you, and it was
Yeah,
gone.
yeah, we alluded to that. You really had to get a lot of heat in the tires to kind of bring it up
Yeah,
from bumping the track. But I mean, you guys practiced and it shows. You guys showed
yeah,
up, and you in particular, you got the W, man.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you guys for broadcasting. That was great.
Absolutely, it's our pleasure, truly.
Congrats,
Awesome.
man. Great
All right,
run.
thanks, everybody. And good luck tomorrow racing.
Hey, thanks, man.
Don't wreck too many times in Charlotte. I certainly will.
You know how much I love that road
That's
course.
right. Yeah, it's something else. All right, I'll talk to you guys. Have a good night.
All right,
Take
man.
care, Bernheimer.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
We got a question in the chat. Have you ever broadcasted for Great Lakes Truck Series?
Not yet, but if they pay me enough, I will.
I haven't either. So there you have it, Swafford. Neither of us have broadcast for that particular group, but as Tommy said, you pay me enough, I'll broadcast 18 wheelers driving in a circle for 10 hours.
Absolutely. I know you got to get to bed, Doug, but before we go, I want to bring in one more driver just because he was a fill-in for TDR versus Pujanowski. He's wanted to race it, hadn't had the opportunity. He got to come in tonight. So I want to interview Rickers, who's a name we said a lot over in there, that number 9.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Hey, Jason, this is Tommy up in the booth. You got a read on me?
Yeah, sure do.
So how was it, man? Filling in for Dakota Brow, who couldn't make it tonight. Your first TDR versus Pujanowski. I know it was tricky out there, and I think TDR got the L at the end of the day. But your number came up a lot. You were doing pretty good. How was the event overall from your perspective as a new driver?
That was kind of rough. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
I think it was rough for everybody.
I made a big mistake halfway through and hit the wall, and I think I wrecked a couple of my teammates in the process, getting the groove of everything. With that car on that track, with that setup, I didn't get a whole lot of practice. So it was interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's a very tough car track setup combo. You came in and you were doing pretty good early on. Like you said, you got into some incidents. How was the teamwork on the TDR side? We saw Pujanowski. They practiced a ton this week. They really showed that team effort. What was the team communications like on your side?
Because I was a last minute entry, I didn't know I was going to run this until about 10:15 tonight. So I can't really say a lot for that. I know they ran a couple practice races, and I jumped into that real quick, trying to learn the track and learn the setup. It put me in a group with Adam Rickey and Blair Patterson, who I've known for a little while. So trying to work strategy and stuff, and just try to not crash and work with your teammates or not cost your teammates any room.
Well, despite the early incident, you started in 17th, and for the car track setup combination, you still came home in 6th place. So that's got to be confidence inspiring at least.
Yeah, it was. I kind of goofed, and the car's really loose for the first. Does some weird stuff the first lap, and I spun it out on my first lap, so I only got and hit the wall. So I only got 1 lap of qualifying. So that really hurt my qualifying chances. So I was really trying to be just real patient, stay out of trouble the first half of the race, and I was being overly cautious is what happened, and making sure one of my teammates had enough room, and I run myself right into the wall.
Now, my personal curiosity, you were teamed up with Adam Rickey, and Doug and I were both talking about attrition, avoiding accidents, keeping your car clean. How much did Adam preach that while you guys were driving?
We were all, to be honest, concentrating really hard, so we weren't talking a whole lot while we were driving at all. We were more so, like it says, under cautions, talking a little bit of strategy of what to do and who to work with. Because, like it says, this is, you said, my first race with everybody, so I knew the black and green cars were bad, and I knew the green and white cars were good.
Awesome, man. Well, the second season of this series is already in discussion. Can we put your name in the hat for future drivers?
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I don't have a lot of Friday nights that are open. I do the real race car thing a lot of times on Fridays and Saturdays, but if I'm available, that was a lot of fun. A lot of the guys are good to race with on both teams.
Good deal, man. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you had the opportunity to come out. Any Friday you're available, if your name's in the hat, we'll pull it out, and if you can make it, we'll try to get you in there, man.
I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Take care.
Thank you.
Oops, I put him in the TDR or the Pudgeonowski chat. Hold on.
That could be
We don't want him talking to the enemy.
that could get interesting very quickly.
But yeah, quick summary. We've seen Pudgeonowski take a bunch of random guys and a couple guys he knew, and they've really turned it into a team to come against the already established team of the TDR Brotherhood. And I think going into this final event, it's going to be something to watch.
I have to agree with you. I mean, that tonight they overcame a lot of adversity, and to come home successfully the way they did, that was a truly impressive run. The recovery some of these drivers had, like Jason Ricker, really, really great. And unfortunately, a few heartbreaks throughout the field. I mean, we saw Scotty Too Hottie charge into the front. Couldn't make anything. Just got caught in that last lap incident. But several drivers up at the top, and looks like Nowski's going to come out on top. So the next race will decide it, but it's going to be a fight to the end.
Yeah, let me pull one more guy up in here. Someone who had never mind. Never mind. His radio's turned off now.
Yeah, I saw
that. But Doug, always a pleasure broadcasting. My quick plugs: backcharities.com. Donate, fund everything we do over here at TDR. McConey Setup Shop for providing the setup for this evening. Tyler Daniels Racing on Facebook. Come join the league. We run 12 active leagues. And Pudgeonowski, go check him out on the streams, along with Blair Patterson and Davey T. Easy, who ran tonight. I want to give it back to you, Doug, for the final word and to plug what you got going on tomorrow morning.
Yep. Don't forget to come back here at 8 Eastern, and you'll get to see me suffer through 4 hours of driving around the Charlotte Roval. But it is for MS and the MS Society, so huge shout out to everybody who has donated. You can find the link on the How to Suck at iRacing Facebook page. And remember, if we hit that goal by tomorrow, I'll have to shave the beard and the hair and everything. So... and, of course, you can hit the website, htsai.net, and find out about all of our upcoming broadcasts.
Doug, always a pleasure.
Yep, you too, sir. And what a great night. I'm sure we'll be talking again very, very soon, and see you at the next one.
Absolutely. Go get some rest, buddy.
All right.